Hi. Hi, everyone. This is Ravi, the realtor. I'm just going to do some videos from various locations on some different subjects that I know that I get emails, I get phone calls, I get texts all the time concerning lots of different things. Today, we're actually going to talk about, do I rent or do I buy? Okay, so it's huge. I mean, a lot of my friends are like, well, I can continue renting. A lot of my clients call and say, well, I live in a very good place. Why bother? It's just so much. I don't know. I don't know if I have enough money. I don't know where I can get the money from. So I says, you know what? Let me go ahead and put together a video so that we can just figure out exactly what it is. And if you still can't figure it out, give me a call. My number and information is below. Email, text, whatever you'd like to do. I'm always available. Okay? So do I rent? Do I buy? So there's three differences, right? And I'm just looking at my notes over here so I don't forget anything. Well, number one is that I did write a blog. It's below. Just go ahead and click on the link and it'll send you directly to the blog so you can read it in full detail. But I know a lot of people really like to just listen or see the video, see who they're dealing with, a lot of things like that, or maybe somebody referred you, or you just want to know who, what, and what it is that I do. So obviously, I do real estate. Right now I'm with Signature International Real Estate companies. We do all of South Florida. I'm also from maybe Jupiter all the way down to the Keys. I've done business everywhere. Obviously been in the business for quite a while, and we can talk about all those accolades at another time. But so three things. It's your preference. What is your real preference? How much money do you have right now in the bank? Also, what are your goals? Do you actually want to achieve the goals, or do you just kind of like want to float around a little bit and see what's going on? So for people who rent, they prefer the carefree lifestyle. Maybe I'll live here, maybe I'll live there, maybe I'll be getting into a relationship and somebody's going to come into my life soon, or somebody's in my life now. We're not sure where it's going just yet. That's fine. No responsibility. You don't want to pay for the lawn. You don't want to mow the lawn. You don't want to attend to a pool. You're not really a handy kind of girl or a handy kind of guy. And you just don't want to mess with that stuff. That's okay. Maybe you're changing jobs. Maybe you may relocate to another city. Maybe you may relocate to another international country. You never know. So those are things that you really want to think about. Now there are some drawbacks in renting, right? You're at the mercy of the landlord. I had a friend call me recently who says, "Hey, I just got an eviction notice." I says, "Well, how did you get an eviction notice when you're renting and you're paying your rent?" He says, "Well, no, it was a foreclosure notice." So apparently the landlord is taking his rent and not paying the mortgage, and now he has 45 days to move out. Lucky thing he called the right person, and he's in a better space now. So there's deposits. When you're moving into a place, you have to have a large deposit. Sometimes it takes 1, 2, 3 times the amount of rent, which is the deposit the first month and the last month. So that could be quite a bit if you're dealing with a home at maybe $2,000. That's $6,000, including your down payment. And sometimes you don't get that back. Sometimes you do. So that's another drawback. Multiple moving costs. Let's say you only rent for a year, and then the owner's like, "Hey, I'm going to sell. You don't want to buy it? No problem. Then you're going to have to move." Then you have to pay moving costs again, and that can be quite a bit. Renter's insurance. There's also other reoccurring costs. Of course, you have to pay your light bill, your water bill, things like that. But renter's insurance, you also have to pay every month, just in case a pipe bursts and damages all your things, somebody breaks in, things like that. Rent in South Florida is on the upswing right now. Broward is about 1,900. Dade is about 1,700. Depending on what you're looking for, I'm sure a lot of people who rent are seeing these prices go up because, again, I'm having a lot of conversations with people who are like, "Hey, I think it's going to be time for me to buy." So now let's talk about buying. Do you want to buy? Well, what's good about buying is that you do have equity. So everything that you put into that home, not everything. Some pays insurance, some gets put into the house. Also, housing prices are going up. So if housing prices go up from where you bought it, you buy a $200,000 home, in the next 5 years, it's worth $250,000. At that point, you've made $50,000 in equity. That's pretty good. When you're renting, you don't make any equity at all. The owner of that property makes equity off of it. You can recoup on that investment in the scenario I just gave you. There's also homestead exemption on tax. So if it is your primary residence, you will be able to be homesteaded on that, meaning that you will pay a portion of the taxes, not the full thing. If it's an investment property, you will be paying full taxes if you're not living in your primary residence. So what are the drawbacks? Of course, there's a mortgage. You have to pay the mortgage. You're responsible for all the maintenance. If there's a leak in the roof, if there's a leak in the pipe, if there's a leak in the pool, if there's a neighbor has a rodent problem and it comes into your home, you're responsible for all of that. You can't call the landlord and say, hey, I have roaches, can you help me out? Not going to happen. So what else? There's taxes, of course, a portion of the taxes. Like I said, you do have to pay insurance. And here in South Florida, obviously, there are hurricanes, there are acts of God, there's flooding in certain areas. So you do have to be up to date on your insurance. Otherwise, they won't cover most of it. There's a huge down payment. Right now, a lot of the most, well, let's say the norm is 20%. You'd want to be putting down 20%. Now, some people are able to put down 5%, 3.5% in certain programs, but that takes pretty good credit, first-time home buyers. There are also grants in certain cities and things like that. Your credit history should be good, and you have to know what you're looking for. If you're getting into a townhouse or a condo, there are maintenance costs. So that goes into your something called a debt to income ratio. Again, if you read the blog that I wrote below, you'll get a better insight on it. So if you're buying a condo, they do handle some maintenance, and that just handles outside. It doesn't handle what happens inside of your home. If your stove is broken, your condo insurance or maintenance is not going to take care of that. They take care of all the outside grounds, whether it be pool, the roof. It's called a master insurance. The pool, the workout area, and whatever, what have you in those areas. Also with townhouses is pretty much the same. Now, if you buy a home, of course, like I said, you're responsible for all those maintenance and all those things. Okay, so do you want to rent or do you want to buy? Those are the categories, and those are kind of the ups and downs. And do I want to do it or do I not? It's completely up to you. Give me a call, 954-579-1249, or the email and everything is below. Take a look at it, see what you can do, and we'll talk about it. We'll go through your figures. We'll go through maybe 401ks or investments or other properties you may have. Again, if you're looking to sell, come out of a home and get into a new home here in the South Florida area, that's something I handle very often also. So again, thank you so much. I'll be shooting these videos to you as much as I can, at least once, twice a week. See my subscribe below and follow me. Follow me on Facebook, Instagram, The Florida Pro, and again, everything's below. And we'll talk again soon. Text me if you have any questions at all. I'm always available. Thank you, and see you later.